Hey guys, it's week 4 of the Balance and Strength Yoga program, and welcome back. I'm really excited about all the progress that we're making, and I can feel the extra work that you guys have been putting into this, and the extra balance that you're creating, the awareness that you're building of what's going on in your body, deepening that connection so that you can actually kind of be more of an active partner, making changes in your body and feeling good about what you're doing. This week, we're going to take everything we've been doing up until this point, and we're going to continue working with it, but we're going to start closing our eyes here and there and just gauging, seeing how that affects our balance, so that as we continue, we can start integrating that closed eyes practice a little bit more as you continue to build your balance, so that it just pushes you a little bit more, giving you a different perspective on your own balance without that visual grounding for your brain to say, hey, where am I? Remember, a lot of martial arts practice with their eyes closed, because when you don't have something visual for your brain to ground with perspective for balance, it's a whole different world, right? So when you're doing your practice with your eyes closed, don't feel bad if it's more difficult and you're like, I was doing really good and I was feeling really confident about my balance, and now all of a sudden my eyes are closed and it's not that easy. Well, guess what? It's not that easy. So don't feel bad about it, because it's really not that easy. That's why martial artists do this for years and years and years, to gain that kind of skill level and that kind of awareness, so that they can just move around and do all of those movements with their eyes closed. So we're only in week 4. You guys have been working as much as you can to integrate this practice into your life and into your schedule. So take it a little bit at a time. If you need to open your eyes while we go through this sequence, by all means, open your eyes, get through the sequence, and feel good about it. And then when you're done with your practice, write it down and just keep track of, how you felt that day. And then as you continue with your practice, just continue doing it with your eyes closed here and there and just gauging it. So with each posture, go ahead and get in the posture, hold it, and then close your eyes. And then as you feel like you're losing balance, go ahead and open your eyes. And you can do that a couple times. And then open your eyes as you need to. Go into the next posture. And next. Back, and make sure that heel is behind the toes, and stretch it up and sink those hips down. Then release the hands, stretch it forward, and come on up. Stretch. Close your eyes. And take it down and up. Virksasana. going to demonstrate this on my left leg, and what I want you to do is use your support, just knowing that it's there, and then when you need it, it's there for you to catch your balance, but test yourself. Give yourself a little bit of leeway, okay? Here we go. Now, for our Virabhadrasana, I'm going to scoot the chair farther away, and we're going to break the sequence just so that we can align ourselves to reach for the chair, okay? So, Virabhadrasana. Good job, guys. So I do this to show you guys that just being a yoga instructor doesn't mean that you're perfect. It doesn't mean that I know how to do everything without any errors. It's a process for all of us to grow together. And in fact, the whole beauty in this process and in this practice is the imperfection, because that's where you actually deepen your awareness and your connection with your body to be able to make those changes. If it was perfect, you wouldn't have that point to have that accomplishment, to be able to see yourself grow, to be able to feel good about the changes that you're making in your body. And we don't make these improvements without deepening our awareness, without making a conscious effort to connect with our body and understand what's going on inside in order to be an active partner in what's going on in our body. Yes? So there's really truly beauty in your imperfection. So as you go through this and you lose your balance, hey, that's part of the process. So be patient with yourself and enjoy it. Just laugh it off. I'm not perfect. I'm growing right alongside with you guys, and I'm loving this process and super excited that I get this opportunity to work with you guys as we continue to grow together. And next, we're going to take this down to the ground and work on our core. Chaturanga, come on down. Cobra. Push back up, Chaturanga. And I want you to walk down to your elbows. Left hand, back up to right. And hold your core tight. Do one push-up. And back. Come on up. Pointing dog. Up, downward dog. Other side, pointing dog. Down and downward dog. Chaturanga. One push-up. Elbows. Right side up. Lower it down. Stretch it out. One-legged modified Dhanurasana. Down. Other side. Roll over. Lift. Chaturanga. Down. Cobra. Modified Dhanurasana. Chaturanga. And downward dog. Bring it down. And child's pose. Alright guys, that's your sequence for core strengthening exercises for week 4. Now what I want to see you guys do is I want to see you go through that sequence at least 4 times through your practice. Now, I understand sometimes you may not have time, at least do it once, okay? And on the days that you really, really don't have time, pick 1 or 2 of those exercises and do those. So just stay consistent, keep moving, keep your mind expanding through your body, and never stop. Never stop searching, never stop learning more about what it is you're feeling, identifying those sensations, understanding them, acknowledging them, and working with them. All right, now it's time to let those practices settle into your body. It's time to stretch it out and enjoy the changes that you're making. Let your awareness really just sink into your body. Follow your breath as we go through these stretches. Same stretches we did last week, we're just gonna add one more, an extra lunge to really try to open up our hip flexors, okay? Starting from child's pose. Open the knees wide and just stretch it out. Walk it up. Cat-cow, and inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Take your right hand through behind your left arm, stretch it out, and bring your arm up over your head and twist. Open your knees wide. to child's pose. Walk it up. Bring your knees in, hip width apart, toes under. We're going to lift for downward dog. Lift your left leg. Stretch, push into that right heel. Bring it up and in. Get yourself situated. Square those hips up. Create space up under here so gravity can be your friend. Grab your blocks. Don't be afraid to use those blocks no matter how flexible you are, okay? And lift your upper body up. Create more space between your hips and the ground. And stretch that back leg back a little bit further. Inhale and drop. Let gravity help you out. And inhale, take it forward. Exhale, bring it down. Bring it up. One more time up. And drop, exhale. Set your blocks to the side. Bring the toes of the back foot underneath. Push into that foot. Lift. Take it back to downward dog. Push into that left heel and bring it up and in. Get yourself situated. Get your blocks and lift and let gravity help bring you down. Bring those hips down. Forward. Exhale, bring it down. And bring it on up. One more time up. Exhale, drop it down. Toes under in the back, blocks to the side, push into that back foot, lift the knee, and bring it up, downward dog. Push into one heel at a time, get those calf muscles. Both heels. Forward, come on down to your knees, bring your body up, and right leg forward. I want you to take your foot out in front of your knee, not under your knee, because this stretches this patellar tendon, and we don't want to strain that, okay? As long as your knees are healthy, you may do this and you might not feel anything, any kind of discomfort. But what I really want to ask you to do is just be mindful of it. Understand that unnecessary strain to these joints just isn't a good thing. If you don't have to do it, then don't. Okay? Be nice to yourself, understanding body mechanics and avoiding those unnecessary stresses will really help you with longevity of the joints, okay? So foot in front of the knee, that way when you bend your knee and drop the hips, you can get into this hip flexor and your knee stays over your ankle. And you want to try to avoid this opening of the left hip. That's why I have my hand here, trying to keep pushing forward. And we always have a tendency with lunges to lean forward like this. So we're like, oh, tight, I'm getting a stretch. And you're probably right, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you are getting a stretch. But the stretch I want you to get is all the way in here. So that this leg is in front, is just there for leverage. And as you drop into those hips, you really feel it here. Keeping the hips square and really focusing just all your weight here, you're gonna get a completely different stretch than if you let your body lean forward. And lengthening the upper body. Not just arching the back like this to push forward, but lengthening the upper body. And then we're gonna go ahead and come forward. We're changing our focus, that's why we're coming forward. Now we're gonna get the inside, the adductors of that right leg. So left hand down and reach your elbow toward the floor. Now you may be here. You may be here. Or you may be able to come all the way down to the ground. But I want you to watch this knee. If it wants to flare out, then I want you to walk your foot out to the side because we want to try as much as possible, always keeping your knee over the ankle, okay? So I can take my elbow all the way down to the ground, but I want to take it little by little today. I want to feel each stage of this stretch and make it feel yummy. I don't want to make it hurt. I don't want to really be uncomfortable. I don't want to have trouble breathing through the stretch. I want to feel it and I want to let that stretch settle in. So every 10 seconds or so, I'll change. And really try to let that low back release. Bring it up in increments if you need to. Take care of the low back and your hips. Shift your weight back. Bring your hands up to your knee, or you can stay here. Bring that leg back. If you need to take a break to child's pose, do what feels right, okay? And if not, you want to go straight into the other side? Let's do it. Left leg forward. Foot in front of the knee, yes. Square up the hips. Make sure your back foot is behind the knee. A lot of times it has a tendency to come in. That's okay. Just work it on out to the side, all right? Square these hips to the front and drop into that right hip flexor. And switching focus, bring your right hand down to the ground and stretch that elbow down. Make sure the knee isn't flaring out to the side. If so, walk that foot out. Keep the knee in the same line as the ankle. Now, you'll see here my knee's a little bit behind my ankle, but the line I'm talking about is if you look at your knee, you want your ankle to be right in front of it, okay? So hand down, and dropping my elbow. Now, if your hip flexors are really tight, you may not actually feel it in your adductors on the inside of this front leg. But if you don't, it's okay. Just keep stretching. It'll get there. You'll get there eventually, okay? I promise. legs should feel nice and open. Now, if you feel a little bit achy when you come out of your stretches, don't let that scare you. That's actually pretty normal. Remember, you're holding these stretches for a decent amount of time. So your body's still getting used to the length and it's still trying to adjust and understand and translate what is it that you're doing and what does this mean and how does it need to adjust. So just be patient, it'll get more comfortable. Take it slowly, don't max out into each one of those stretches. Do like I was showing you, take it in increments. Even though you can go all the way down to the ground, you don't have to go all the way down right off the bat, okay? Do it a little bit at a time. Just do it a little bit at a time. And let each segment of that stretch just feel yummy. Enjoy it, right? Now the next stretch I'm going to introduce is Baddha Konasana. Now some people know this stretch as butterfly, and you're just bringing your feet in together and your knees are flaring out. Now if you're up here and you're kind of trying to balance to keep yourself up, you might want to get a blanket, or you can even sit on a block, because what happens is when you raise your hips up off the ground, you have a different angle for your knees to just relax, and then it helps the alignment of your spine. So if your knees are up here, I really recommend you get a blanket or two, fold them up, lift your hips up, elevate them so you get that better angle. It'll make the whole process a lot more comfortable, and then as time goes on, you can start taking those blankets out from underneath your hips. And you'll see that your hips are a lot more open, opposed to you really struggling to just stay in that posture. I don't want you to struggle staying in the posture. I really want you to be able to enjoy the process and incrementally feel and see the difference. So with Baddha Konasana, what we do is we really anchor our center into the floor. I always rock side by side, trying to just get even from left and right, find that center, and then I pull forward and sit up. But what I really want to do in this case is we're going to use our strap. I'm going to have you go behind your back with the strap and then pull the side with the rings to your right foot so that the rings are facing you. And then you're going to loop in away from you through both hoops and then come back towards you through one hoop. Okay? And you're just going to tighten it up, but I want you to really make sure that these straps are right here in the fold of your hips. Okay? So that the back of the strap goes right at your low back where your tension builds up. And keep the rings close to your ankles so that when you pull it, it's easy to access. If the ring gets all the way up here and you're trying to tighten, it's very difficult. So keep it down here by your ankle, because we're going to go through this a couple times. So pull it to where it's tight, bring your hands back, and then push your feet a little bit forward, like lift your heels and push the ball of your feet together, and lift your heels, open chest, and really just feel how that strap is putting pressure on your low back. You can wiggle around a little bit, kind of give yourself a little bit of a massage, and just let it help open up that part of your back. A lot of times this helps to just kind of increase your awareness of this area of your body. Using the strap actually helps you feel, it helps bring your awareness, your sensitivity back into that area of your spine. Because when there's so much tension built in the low back, oftentimes it's really hard to even feel anything because the circulation isn't flowing efficiently. So the nerves aren't getting everything that they need in order to transmit sensation effectively. All right, so just try to get to know that part of your back again and let it open up. And this particular posture, I'm gonna say, when you do this, give yourself a good 10 minutes, because you're gonna incrementally tighten up on the strap, and I just want you to feel this area of your spine and let it open. And also, as your low back starts to relax and you start to open up that sensitivity in your low back, it will help open up your hips, and vice versa. As your hips continue to open and gain mobility, it'll relieve strain on the low back as well. So just open the chest and just let it settle in. just feel good, okay? And then come on forward, reach to your feet to pull yourself forward, lean forward, bring the elbows into your rib cage, chest lifts up and forward, exhale. Now you'll feel how the strap loosened up a little bit. I want you to hold it there and pull it in. That way when you sit up, I want you to just relax, hands into your knees, and just lean back and feel that pressure on the low back. It's almost like compression massage. And just settle in. Don't fight the tension in your hips. Just let gravity do the work. And if you feel like the strap is loosening up, just lean forward, adjust where the hoops are, and pull it back in. And you can even wrap it back around this way, and that'll help keep it in place. And just breathe. So really just take this time to just imagine breathing in fresh oxygen, and imagine using your exhale as a way to gather up all the tension and stagnant energy in your body and letting it go, making room and space for fresh energy, fresh nutrients to flow through your body, clean energy to wash through your energy field. And just let your mind settle into that sensation. And you can stay here as long as you feel you need to, as long as you can, as long as you have time for. And when you're ready, just bring your hands back, push the chest up, open the shoulders and chest, lift the chin, don't drop the head back, but lift the chin. And lift the hips a little bit, arch the back, round the back, sink the chest, arch, and sink. Remember to work on this incrementally. We're going to continue working on this posture over the next couple weeks and just seeing how it progresses. So don't be impatient, take it easy, and just remember, allow yourself to make each one of these stretches feel yummy, because you deserve it. Now to come out of this posture, get out of the binding, you can just loosen. You take the one hoop closest to you and just push it forward. And just loosen it on up and do it. And then push, bring the knees up, and then push the feet forward and give yourself a free massage. Tap your feet, make them happy. All right, guys, that is week 4 of the Balance and Strength Yoga program. And I thank you once again for allowing me the opportunity to work through this stuff with you guys, continuing to grow through my process as we grow together. And thank you for all the energy and the effort and the time that you're investing into yourself to be the best you can be for yourself and for those that you love. Okay? Seriously, guys, thank you and namaste. See you next week.